Obviously. Explain coffee to me, who is a primarily non-coffee person.
Coffee,
Specialty coffee.
specialty coffee, technically or like as a consumer, like general, just like how do you want it? Like you want it like a general or
No, I want to understand. You talk about notes and different coffees. Yes, what is all this thing?
so basically, okay, let's keep it technical and then I'll keep it simple.
Yeah, let's keep it technical.
So technically speaking, a coffee, I mean, think of a mango. So which mango are you thinking about?
Hapus.
I am thinking about the seri,
Yeah.
right? So exactly how when we say that mango is a mango, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Every mango.
Absolutely. I understand. I understand. So, yeah.
So similarly in coffee also, like every coffee, every cherry, every bean, every uh, space it grows at, it's all different. So all the tasting notes that come is like all from inherent composition of the coffee, how it's grown, how it's processed, how it's roasted, and all these things, right? But when we say that this coffee has got a tasting note of tangerine and all these things, these are all cuppers notes, when the coffee is cupped on a controlled environment. As a non-technical and a consumer thing, it should just be a good cup of coffee is what I feel.
Yeah.
You don't need to get into, I mean, imagine when we are going to a brewery and this guy is explaining, sir, this hops was grown in this.
मेरे को taste अच्छा चाहिए.
I don't care. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
True.
That is where a lot of people go wrong, when they go into the mode of overcomplicating it. Because now coffee has become like a obvious part of day. It's not a experience anymore. It's an obvious part of the day. It has reached there now. So over there, you cannot always say, "Ki sir, ye cold brew maine aisa banaya." Like, just give me a good cup of coffee. So it should be like when rounded, medium, chocolatey, you're done. You don't need to complicate things. Complications is for us. So always keep those behind the scenes wala story apne paas.
Obviously.
You have to do your work, and then in the front. So that's what coffee is like. Something that you don't look at it for the second time and you just keep drinking. That's what coffee is. Just like what we had chai. By the way, that was very good chai.
Thank you. Yeah. My wife will be proud of me.
Yeah, it's really good. So chai ka bhi वैसे like you don't get mesmerized by that. So those days of mesmerizing that product is gone.
But then, does every different estate have different taste?
Yeah.
Or you can have different taste within the same estate as well?
Okay, so let me put it this way. One coffee plant, same coffee plant, grown at different regions, same. If we just pick, it'll start tasting different. If the same coffee from the same farm is roasted and is processed in two different manners, will taste different. If the same coffee, same process is roasted in two different manners, it will taste different. And if the same place, same process, same roasted, but two different brewing techniques, it will taste different. So it's that complex. It's that kind of potentially it is that complex,
So how do you, this is a question on your back end thing.
Yeah.
How do you find that right balance and that this is going to work for the consumer?
Right. So basically you need to when we go to the estates and when we look at these coffees, the first calculation mathematically also comes up that is it going to be a daily driver or is it going to be an experimental?
Right.
See, for beer also, it's very easy to understand. For beer also, after point of time, you will not drink those light and fruity beers. You can't.
You can't.
Just want straightforward.
Yeah.
Your Millers or your Corona. You just want those kind of things. So the 99.99% of the entire wheel ki itne isme 0.01% will be experimental. Literally, that's the ratio. 0.01 will be experimenting. So you get to know that you want and again, like of the 100 or maybe the 1,000 coffees that you sell, about 90% is going to be with milk with sugar. You can't stop, you can't frown upon. It's not your job to do that. So basically, when you want sugar and milk in your coffee, you don't want it to be fruity. You want it to be a little bit chocolatey, a little bit nutty. So that's how you start making decisions right in the estates that and it's over a period of time you understand that this coffee is going to be great for my experimentations. This coffee is great for championship. This coffee is great for your espresso. All those things. So that's an experience that you kind of gauge through. So fairly easy, not very difficult, but a lot of people just get confused onto that roasting side of things. Like they make the consumer so complicated. It makes so difficult for consumer to choose. But ठीक है, जिसको
But still, the majority coffee that is consumed, specialty coffee,
yeah
is still milk and sugar.
yeah. So
And then this a cold brew is getting a lot
no,
of
that's
hype nowadays.
yeah, that's big. That's big for sure. And in fact, our top 5 selling beverages, which are IP driven, are 3 are cold brew based, and 2 are milk based. Yeah, so but that's for Corridor 7. That's for Nagpur. That's for our consumers in a way. The rest of the entire country has been doing the same thing about the ice creams and the all those. That's been the top seller. So you cannot be making it. You cannot be telling the consumers, hey, you know what, that is old school. Now try the fruitier coffees. Now try the acidic coffees, and then they're gonna be like, no, just don't mess around with me. You know, it's like butter chicken. Butter chicken has to be the way it has to be. You cannot change it to a certain thing and say, hey, you've been having it all wrong.
Yeah.
You can't do that. हमारे लिए ये है, अभी तुमको जो बोलना है बोलो. It's kind of that. So cold brews, yes, it's picking up. It's picked up a lot. In fact, we're just investing in a big cold brew facility also. That's what is happening right now. But again, even in cold brew sector, you want straight up. You want the chocolatey, nutty kind of a taste. You
Achha,
don't
the same thing applies.
yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. You cannot make it like a zesty or lemony and all those things. For an experimentation, because for me also, so I always think from this point of view that I am maybe a couple of years ahead of the consumer curve where it's going to be because I'm so much into it.
But usually that's where you find growth.
Correct. And you have to trace your marks and say, you know what, you were here, now the entire sector is going to be here, now it's going to be here. I've stopped having these acidic coffees and fruity coffees on a daily. I don't enjoy. I just want like coffee and I just want to get on my day. I cannot sit down and say, oh my God, what a beautiful coffee and all. I don't have the time for that, all those things. Just want a nice, good cup of coffee, which basically a very dear friend of mine says, कि यार मुंह से बास आना चाहिए coffee. And it should be kind of that. You know? That's how it should be, you know.
But is it a lot of FOMO driven, the coffee consumption? Be very blunt about it.
Yeah, absolutely. See, if it would have been FOMO driven, we wouldn't have been opening 9 stores in like city like Nagpur in the span of 4 or 5 years, you know, because FOMO is like it goes away. Like Pokemon ka jo pehle tha, you know, that what was that Pokemon? You got to search that. I don't know what it was. I would call that as FOMO driven. This is now a complete lifestyle. It's absolutely a lifestyle. People. And that's the best part. That is where you see actual growth, you know, because when it becomes a part of, like, for example, yoga had come to India.